The rain was so loud, nobody heard the baby crying. Not the police, not the neighbors, not even the mother screaming from the burning apartment. But one exhausted delivery driver did. And 30 seconds later, he was climbing into a fire during the worst storm of the year. The delivery driver saved a baby during the storm. Biro, don't go in there. Jake ignored the screams behind him. Rain crashed against the streets like waterfalls. Lightning split the sky. The apartment building across the road was burning. And from the second-floor window, a mother screamed while holding a crying baby. "The stairs collapsed," somebody yelled. "Nobody can get up there." People stood outside filming with phones. Nobody moved. Jake looked down at the pizza bag in his hand. One more delivery left. If he completed it tonight, he could finally pay his overdue rent. Then the mother screamed again. "Please, save my baby." Jake looked up. Smoke swallowed the room behind her. The baby started coughing, and something inside Jake snapped. He dropped the pizza and ran. Near the building, a rusty maintenance ladder hung from the wall. "You'll die!" someone shouted. Jake climbed anyway. The storm shook the ladder violently. Rain burned his eyes. Halfway up, his foot slipped. The crowd screamed below. But Jake grabbed the metal rail and pulled himself back up. Finally, he reached the window. Heat exploded into his face. The mother was crying uncontrollably. "Take him!" she screamed. Jake wrapped the baby inside his jacket. The child was tiny, terrified, crying against his chest. Now came the impossible part, climbing back down with one hand. The ladder creaked loudly under the wind. Jake moved slowly. One step, another. Then, crack! Part of the ladder snapped. The entire thing tilted sideways. People below started screaming. Jake held the baby tightly. "It's okay," he whispered. "I got you." But suddenly, the ladder ripped away from the wall completely. Jake had seconds to react, so he jumped. The crowd gasped as he crashed onto a parked car roof below. Glass exploded, metal bent inward. For one terrifying second, everything went silent. Then, the baby cried, alive. The crowd erupted. "Oh my God!" He saved the baby. Paramedics rushed forward through the rain. Jake could barely breathe. Blood ran down his forehead. But he still looked at the paramedics and asked only one thing. "Is the baby okay?" The mother collapsed beside him, sobbing. "You saved my son." Jake smiled weakly. "I guess the pizza's gonna be late." Even the paramedics laughed. But the craziest part happened the next morning. Jake woke up in the hospital and nearly dropped his phone. Millions of views. Someone had recorded the rescue. News channels called him the hero delivery driver. Then a rich older man entered the hospital room quietly. Jake frowned. The man smiled emotionally. "You saved my grandson." Jake froze. "What?" The man nodded. Then he handed Jake an envelope. Inside was enough money to change his life. Jake stared in shock. "I can't accept this." "Yes," the man replied softly. "You can." Then he handed Jake a business card. "I own one of the biggest delivery companies in the state." Jake looked up silently. "I need people like you," the man said. "People willing to risk everything for others." Yesterday, Jake was a broke delivery driver, terrified of eviction. Today, the entire world knew his name. All because he stopped the car and listened to a baby crying in the storm.